NPS is a measure vying to be healthcare's patient experience loyalty indicator. Have you heard of it? Do you know what it measures? If not, you've come to the right place. In this 4-minute video, we will tell you what you really need to know about NPS and why it has a role as a healthcare measure of consumer loyalty. NPS stands for Net Promoter Score. This metric was developed to measure consumer loyalty. Many industries such as airlines, hotels, retail establishments, and in fact, Fortune 500 companies use NPS. They use it to measure and track how their consumers perceive a product, an experience, or the company brand. As consumerism is increasingly incorporated into healthcare conversations, these organizations are implementing the use of NPS. NPS is calculated from the responses to one question. On a scale of 0 to 10, how likely would you be to recommend this organization to others? Time out here. NPS is often confused with two CAPS questions you may be familiar with. Let's take a moment to look at these. The first CAPS question is the rate question that has a 0 to 10 response scale. This question is not the NPS question as it asks rate, not recommend. Okay, I hear you thinking, but CAPS has a recommend question, and you're right. But the recommend question does not use a numeric response scale. Its scale is definitely no to definitely yes. If we have two CAPS questions that offer some insight to the patient's experience or loyalty, then why use NPS? NPS takes the recommendation question one step further by including a specific calculation. Using a scale of 0 to 10, for NPS, 9s and 10s are called promoters, 7s and 8s are called passives, and 0s to 6s are called detractors. Promoters are faithful. They're your cheerleaders, your advertisement, your reputation. Your patient's experience with your organization left them feeling happy, satisfied, loyal, and thereby created a promoter, someone who speaks favorably and recommends you to others. Passives are, well, passive. They're not unhappy. They're also not enthusiastic. They're just schmeh. If offered an alternative, they may leave you, and they're unlikely to say anything good or bad about you. On the other hand, detractors are actively unhappy and dissatisfied. They are so displeased they pass on bad word of mouth and diminish your reputation by actively not recommending you to others. If asked about your organization or services, they will tell others to go elsewhere. As with TopBox, we calculate the percentage of respondents who are promoters. In this example, of 100 respondents, 62 or 62% selected a 9 or 10 to the NPS question. However, we don't just stop here. The promoters are not the Net Promoter Score. Continuing the example, 21 responses or 21% are passives, and the final 17% are detractors. To calculate NPS, passives are not considered. The promoters and detractors are the only responses considered in the calculation. From the percentage of promoters, the percentage of detractors are subtracted. Ergo, net promoter. We net or subtract from the promoters to get the Net Promoter Score. Thus, in our example, the Net Promoter Score is 45. It's important to note here that while passives don't directly affect the NPS calculation, the greater the number of passives, the more influence they have, and the more impact you can make on your patient's perception of their experience from neutral to loyal. So why is NPS a metric used by so many and becoming more prevalent in healthcare? Well, in a competitive, consumer-driven market, healthcare is a business, and loyalty matters. Now it's your turn. Do you know the NPS for your organization? How about the distribution between promoters, passives, and detractors? How will you move your passives to be promoters? How are you measuring your loyalty? Can you see the value in using NPS?